The problem with being perfect is that the player is often reducing their margin of error, and it gets to the point of all or nothing. Either you're perfect or you just can't make the following shot. So players are really throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and this especially applies when it comes to distance. If we have the right angle on the ball and that's your main objective, then distance pretty much becomes irrelevant. I mean, everybody wants to be a foot away from the shot, but you don't have to be a foot away from the shot. And trying to get a foot away from the shot is, again, it's do or die. It's like all or nothing. And so you're putting all this stress and pressure on yourself to be perfect when the fact is no one is perfect. We need the right angle on this 6 ball to get, a little bit back up table, but we don't have to be all the way back up table next to the 7 ball here. What we need is the right angle on the 7 to get right on the 8. But the key to what I'm saying here is when I shoot this 8 ball, this 9 ball, if you take a look at it, is makeable from the right side of the table, the whole table. It's not a hard shot. Now I could have drew back on that 8 ball and tried to get a foot away from the 9 ball, but there's no sense in taking that chance when this is an easy shot from anywhere on the right side of the table. And I wind up right on it, of course. You'll see when we get to the 6 ball, I didn't really play the start of this game right, and I wind up taking some chances when I shoot the 3 to get on the 4, and to get right on the 4 to be able to get on the 5. So right here, now that I take a second look at it, I should have just rolled up a little bit and shot the 3 ball in the side, even though that's a bit of a difficult shot. I'm going into traffic here and trying to get on the right hand side of the table but above that 9 ball, and I screw it up. So what do you do here? You can play it safe or you can go for it, and it really comes down to your confidence level and your skill level as a shot maker. And I don't have the greatest shot in the world on the 4 ball to get right on the 5. And I wind up going into traffic, which is always dangerous. That 9 ball could have just rolled right up in my way. Again, it just comes down to how confident you're feeling and your skill level as a player. Not everybody is comfortable with that bank shot I made on the 3 ball, and that's fine. That's the time for you to play safe. If you're a good banker, and you have a high chance of getting right on the 4 ball, then go for it. And don't even consider your opponent. You should play everybody like you're playing the best in the world. If you leave that 3 ball rattled in the corner pocket, that might not matter if you're playing somebody who can't play. But playing your opponent is going to give you bad habits in your head. And then when you do play a champion, you're going to wind up taking chances that you shouldn't take. So you just have to evaluate the whole thing and see the whole picture. I think the key to 9 ball or any rotation pool game is to just play the game safe. Don't even give yourself a chance to get in trouble. Don't go into traffic, and just sometimes you'll have a little bit of a harder shot if you stay out of traffic, but most of the time it's all going to work out for you. The key on that 1 ball shot was to get the right angle in order to get right on the 3. Now if you look at the 10 or the 9 ball and the 4, you can see that the 9 ball's in the way of shooting the 4 ball in the side pocket. But it's absolutely amazing to me how many people will go down table on this 3 ball shot in order to get on this side of the 9 ball and shoot that 4 ball in the side pocket when they're taking a big chance. And you don't have to do that. You can just shoot this 4 ball in the bottom right hand corner, and this way you avoid getting in trouble. But players are often getting in trouble because they're not thinking right, and they think they have to shoot that 4 ball on the side because that's the pocket closest to the 4 ball. And that's a normal, natural assumption, but you have to remember that pool is not normal and natural. So, if you ran into me out there in the pool room somewhere and you asked for help with your game, I would just throw all 9 balls out on the table and I'd give you the cue ball for ball in hand. But before each shot, I would ask you why you're doing what you're doing and what are you trying to do. And after about 10 racks of doing this, and me correcting you, the light is going to come on and you're going to see how you might think you're making the game easier, but you're actually making things very hard on yourself, almost to the point of being impossible to play. So, in an effort to make things easier, you're doing things the hard way. So it's like, well, I can see your logic. Wouldn't it be easier to just get right here? And wouldn't that make it easier to get on the following ball? To shoot that the easy way to get on the next ball. So the result is you're going all through traffic and you're banging in the balls and you're doing all this crazy stuff in an effort to because it's making sense in your head. But if you take your game to the next level, you can see it doesn't make sense at all, and it's almost like you're sabotaging your own game. Ever since I was young, I would always gravitate to the older guys in the pool room, and I quickly learned that they have a whole lot of great advice. They lived all the lessons, and they built this country, and they deserve some respect. And I found a wealth of knowledge and just incredible life advice, not just on the pool tables, but in life. I mean, they lived it, they breathed it. A lot of them came up the hard way, and a lot of them still love to hang out in the pool rooms, but some of them don't always feel welcome. Not in today's world. You might ask what this has to do with this table that I'm running here, but it has everything to do with it. I would not be the player I am today without these guys, and I realize I have a long way to go, but I would not have gotten this far without these guys. And they showed a lot of support, and not every person is a great person, old or young, but most of these older guys, they've learned the lessons the hard way, and they absolutely deserve a little bit of respect. And not everyone's willing to give it to them. So, but I always will, and I think you should too. And I don't want to preach at you, but you're missing out on a world of information if you don't take this opportunity. And you're going to see after I make this 9-ball, the opportunity that I would never ever skip out on. I will always give the older guys my respect. And let them give you something to take with you. I promise it will make your pool game and your life a whole lot better. And, let's face it, they're not going to be here for much longer. And I think you might not know it, but you're going to regret it if you don't take this opportunity. They know what it's like to not belong anywhere else but a pool room. I mean, they built this game, they built this country, and they gave you a place to go when you didn't belong anywhere else.